For years, executing row-aware or visual-level aggregations in Power BI required building heavyweight DAX in the semantic model. Every calculation added another gear to the machine, forcing the backend to process logic that belongs in the presentation layer. Relying on the backend to handle simple display tasks like moving averages or percent of parent metrics bloats datasets. It results in unnecessarily complex data models and restricts developer velocity. The May 2026 update provides the architectural pivot needed to address this bottleneck directly. To scale enterprise BI, developers have to move away from treating the semantic model as the sole calculation engine and begin pushing computational logic to the visual layer. This schematic illustrates the general availability of visual calculations. This shift moves logic from the backend and establishes a bypass route from the semantic model directly to the visual. This pathway allows computations to avoid the DAX processing block entirely. The second half of this shift involves embedding AI native generation directly into the report UI, rather than isolating it in a separate side pane. By routing logic to the visual and integrating native AI, Power BI transitions from a rigid backend modeling environment into an agile, low-code presentation layer. Visual calculations operate exclusively on the aggregated data already present within the visual. Because these computations exist at the visual layer, they inherently possess row position awareness, understanding their placement within the context of a table or matrix. This matrix visual shows a running sum dynamically rendered entirely within the matrix layer. You can build these calculations directly from the ribbon menu. This running sum is achieved without adding a single DAX measure to the underlying model. The update also expands custom totals. Right-clicking a numerical column now reveals none and average options, alongside standard sum and count aggregations. These new parameters give developers precise control over visual-level aggregation, removing the need to write custom DAX conditional statements for subtotal rows. Mastering the visual computation engine unburdens the semantic model. This results in leaner datasets, faster refresh rates, and highly accelerated report rendering. Beyond quantitative calculation, Copilot is now structurally embedded into the reporting workflow to provide automated qualitative insight. The first deployment is a Summarize button located on the Global Report ribbon. This Global Summarize button generates macro trends and highlights across every page and visual in the report simultaneously. In contrast, the visual header summary is tuned for microtrends. It pinpoints category differences and identifies key drivers within a single chart. The update also introduces App Owns Data preview capabilities, moving focus from internal BI tools to embedded analytics. The Copilot narrative visual can now be deployed inside customer applications, allowing end users to access AI-generated insights without signing into Power BI. Developers now deploy native AI intelligence directly into external, customer-facing applications, moving past basic chart construction. Static read-only dashboards are being replaced by translytical workflows, which support active read-write analytics. We see the upgraded numeric input slicer accepting a wildcard query. These slicers support numeric fields and input masks feeding directly into translytical task flow nodes. Users apply operators like greater than to filter datasets instantly. To maintain workflow speed, reports now pre-populate these embed fields with default values derived from user data functions. For front-end precision, developers can now set fixed pixel widths for matrix columns to ensure layout consistency across devices. You can also designate specific report pages as definitive landing pages and enforce matrix auto-expansion in embedded scenarios, so hierarchies are visible immediately. Combining translytical read-write data flows with pixel-perfect layout controls allows developers to build highly controlled, interactive software-like experiences. While the presentation layer received massive upgrades, the back-end developer experience was unified to match that speed. This comparison shows the redesigned Power Query Get Data experience. The fragmented legacy process is replaced by a streamlined, unified dark mode interface. This update centralizes data source discovery, simplifies the connection flow, and adds keyboard navigation and accessibility. The redesign mirrors the UI of Microsoft Fabric and Excel to provide ecosystem consistency for data engineers. Workflow speed is improved for semantic model authors. Users with edit permissions bypass the model details page and route directly to the web modeling experience. By removing friction from data ingestion and model editing, Microsoft enables developers to reach the visual logic layer faster than before. The May 2026 release establishes a clear direction for the platform, a move toward low-code visual layers and automated insight delivery. The revised data pipeline shows the result. Data flows from a unified source, bypasses the heavy DAX node via a glowing visual calculation path, and terminates in an AI-augmented UI. This architecture lets developers build faster and maintain integrity while writing significantly less DAX. With translitalytical task flows and pixel-perfect layout controls, these reports function as interactive embedded applications rather than static data summaries. Download the desktop preview to test the unified Get Data experience. Then, audit your models and begin migrating standard aggregations directly to the visual layer.